Welcome to Dungeon Master School, the series where we explain all the essential topics for running a game of Dungeons and Dragons.
That's right. Whether you're a brand new dungeon master or you're continuing your education, we're here to help you learn how to get the most out of your games. All right, Josh, let's talk about recognizing a problem PC before they're a problem. And this doesn't have to be specifically about a player that's the problem, because there's a very different solution to that. It doesn't always have to be someone's like purposely trying to do the group wrong, right?
Yeah, I don't remember everything, but WebDM used to tell a story about somebody who came to a game and would eat sauerkraut straight out of a can and like
Ooh.
sexually harass people, and it was like,
Oh no.
yeah, that is a clear problem. You're gonna kick that person out. It's
And
the person that sucks.
the solution's easy.
Yeah, maybe you're trying to make a character concept that just doesn't fit what you're trying to do. It could be you don't fit the style of game. It could be that they don't fit the setting. Some easy examples, right? If we're playing a very low magic setting, maybe like you're trying to be a little historical. Maybe it's set in like a bubonic plague type time period, and you're like, I'm going to be a wizard or a cleric or something along these lines. And it's like, well, if people suspect that you're using magic, then they're gonna want to kill you.
He's a witch. Yeah, it's like yeah.
And it doesn't mean you can't play that type of game, but there needs to be conversation ahead of time and really agreement from everyone to say this is the direction we're gonna take it. It doesn't have to be a wizard in a low magic setting. It could be a fighter in a wizard school. It could be a character that was built completely for combat because you want to just fight things and do the most damage in like a spy themed game, or just any game that's going to be more about the social pillar, right? Social, that's the third pillar. Yes. Or it could be a character that's very evil hanging with a party that's very good. All of those things can happen, but it's something that it's a very specific instance. You can't just say like, come to the game with whatever character you want, and then they show up with a character like that and it doesn't fit in your game. That's kind of on you actually as the DM if you have a hyper specific setting and you don't let players know that. But all of this can be fixed pretty easily.
How many times in our videos we're always talking about communication? We have a video on session 0. I highly recommend that you would watch that if you're new to Dungeon Master School. You mentioned having like an evil character with good characters. How is that going to affect the game? Is it something the whole group is willing to work with? Good example that I recently saw the Key and Peele skit where they're doing their Dungeons and Dragons spoof, and I believe it's Peele comes in and he just derails everything that they built ahead of time. And nowadays, I actually looked in the comment section and everybody wanted to just praise the player and all the players for working with them, and it's just there were no expectations set there. When that was made, it was very clear that there was one person that's the problem. Want to call me old school? You got to talk about it ahead of time. But there was one person that was clearly the problem. But some things that can also do it if you have like opposing alignments, like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, opposing values, opposing goals from other party members. And the key word there really is opposing, because I think having differences actually can be great for your games, right? If you want to explore different points of view, you want to explore different goals, you want to explore different value systems, as long as they're not actively working against each other, they can add a ton of depth to your game and storytelling. But I think especially as the dungeon master is going to be getting character concepts and things that are going to be revealed and stuff, the players aren't always talking about that kind of thing because they have those surprises that they want to share with each other at the right moment. It's kind of good to either curtail some things and guide things into a spot that will work for everybody, but just you got to keep an eye out for the opposition factor. That's never a fun, well, never is a strong word. So there's some tables out there that actually like being a bit antagonistic with each other. But you know that ahead of time, and that's different.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're on the same page. I mean, I don't know that I would want. Well, maybe it'd be fun to do that for a change, but I don't know.
I want to know that that's the kind of thing going into it.
Yeah, exactly. Another one that it used to feel obvious, at least, is your player should be able to give a reason for their character to get involved, or when the adventure hook comes their way, it shouldn't be a, oh well, my character wouldn't bite on that.
They need to be motivated to participate in the story.
If your player has described to you a character that will never ever have any reason to change what they're doing, maybe they're the king of a kingdom, maybe they are, I don't know, a complete pacifist farmer whose farm has burned down several times and they just move on and start the next one. I don't, whatever it is, whatever you can come up with.
Oh shucks. Time to make another farm. It's like I expect the dungeon master
Cabbages.
to not only prepare a yes. The dungeon master now has to prepare the main story and then just daily farm life for you in separate sections for everything. Yeah, something about that just doesn't work.
I don't know. I don't know what else to add to that.
That's an NPC. That's an NPC is who that is.
It is. Yes. Yeah. Well, we did a video forever ago about making a character that's ready to adventure, or making an adventurer, or was it like our D&D characters heroes or adventure, something along those lines. You don't need to play a hero, but you do need to play an adventurer. You know, someone who is gonna get into the fight when that time that they're called upon arrives.
So as long as your character concept is going to fit in the setting, and if it doesn't fit and that's part of the story you want to tell, which is perfectly viable, as long as the player and dungeon master and the table as a whole has the expectations there of how that could work, like if you don't hide your magic in front of the right or wrong people, there's going to be some severe consequences. That needs to be spoken about ahead of time. You know, you have party members that are actively working against each other, that could really suck. And then just if you have someone that's kind of apathetic. Those are really the three main things that jump out at me. And the solution to all of them, communication and setting expectations. And I think it's best if that happens before a player's imagination gets to run wild in a certain direction.
This almost feels like an extension of the session 0 DM school class session, whatever you want to call that.
It's session 0 102.
Session 0 102, because it's just all about setting expectations and being on the same page. And aside from if someone's just a jerk who actively wants to ruin things and for everyone else except for them, if that's how they have fun, that's a totally different problem. And the solution should be easy. Speak up for yourself. Don't let people walk all over you. Don't let people hurt you or your friends. And then suddenly those problem people
anymore.
Not a problem anymore. Yeah.
It's the kind that takes care of itself. But we want to hear about times that you may have encountered what you might consider a problem player or a problem PC, and how you handled it. Was there a middle ground you could work on? Do you feel like the solution ended up making your campaign feel a little less than what you envisioned it being? Just talk about that, because those are the kinds of things that I think we can all learn from.
One time I had a problem PC, and it turned out that I was overloading the power supply. So I had to put a new power supply in there. That
is a different problem PC. Yep. But I like your effort.
Another problem with my PC was it was overheating. So Michael helped me find a cooler that I could install, and that helped.
Just sounds like you need more fans.